and welcome to our next session on fractions. Let us begin with a little bit of revision. In our last session, we made fractions and we wrote fractions. Today, we will be doing some more practice with making fractions and writing fractions, writing and making. So I will give a series of problems to all of you, and you have to solve each problem yourself. What you will need to solve these problems, let me show those to you at the beginning. And before starting this session, please ensure that you have these materials with you. All these materials are materials that you can make yourself. So let me show you these materials one by one. The first one is a loaf of bread which is sliced, and the slices are rectangular in shape. We will also use these rectangular fraction tiles which we made in our previous session. If you recall, this is made by pasting colored paper on graph paper and then cutting the square of side 12 centimeters. So we have these rectangles. These rectangles are our hole. We can also make these rods of 12 centimeters, again by pasting colored paper on graph paper, cutting the strips and folding them down the middle. We saw how to make these rods. These rods also we have chosen as 12 centimeters. Why we have chosen them as 12 centimeters, you will understand later. And we also made fractions in the shape of rotis, chapatis, or pizza, or tortillas, other circular breads which are there in different parts of the world. And we can also cut them out of paper, or we can even use a paper plate itself. We can use a paper plate itself as our hole. So all these materials you will need for the session today, which is rectangles and circular holes. This is my one. So let us begin with a very simple problem. Ganjoti, please take in your plate what I am going to write here on the piece of paper. This is your one. Okay, so if this is your one, you have these ones. Let me give you a bunch of ones for you to work with. You can keep those aside. And the first problem you have to solve, and everybody has to solve, is take a plate in front of you, and in your plate, keep this in your plate. Good, very easy. Empty your plate. Now in your plate, keep this. in the plate. So we see that whether you keep this or whether you keep this, what you have in the plate is the same thing. So we have learnt that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Okay, that's the first thing that we have learnt. Now let's go to the next problem, which is the problem of division. I want you to divide in equal portions. So let's start by dividing in 2 equal portions. So please take 2 plates in front of you. Two plates in front of you. And now you have to show this division by placing equal portions in plates. But now I want you to do this division problem not with circles but with slices of bread, which I have here with me. So how many slices of bread should I give you?
3.
You want to divide, so you have to start with how many slices? This is the problem.
2.
2 is the number of plates. Okay, and this number you have to divide among 2 persons. So you have to start out with 6. Okay, let's understand division. When I am dividing 6 by 2, I have to start with 6 and divide it equally among 2 persons. Okay, so I've given you 6 slices and divide those, do this problem. And how much does each one get?
3.
3. So we can write that like this, that each one gets 3, but I've written it as 3 by 1, which means that one person gets 3. Okay, so we have done a problem in division. Now, if I want to do this problem, which is the next problem, how many plates will I need?
3.
So please take, you can empty your plates, and now you will require, keep them all in a line so that they can be seen. Keep them in towards the center so that they can be seen in the camera, and keep these plates aside. Right? This plate also keep it aside, and keep those plates in the center. Alright, so now you're doing a problem of dividing by 3. Now we are doing a problem of dividing by 3. What are you dividing by 3?
6.
So please do that problem. And what is your answer?
2 by 1.
2 by 1. Very good. So 6 by 3 is equal to 2 by 1. Because one person gets 2. Okay. Alright, now again put all your slices of bread back into your plate. So we had done 2 division problems. 6 divided by 3. Before that, 6 divided by 2. And now, Gyanjyoti, can you do this problem? 7 divided by 2.
Explain.
One more slice of bread you require. Okay. So now you have how many slices of bread?
7.
Count them. Yeah, please do this division. And what is the answer?
3.5.
3.5. So we can say that this is 3.5. I'm writing it as 3.5 divided by 1. Because one portion is 3.5. I have written it. Now, what I have written here, why we write this like this, we will see later. But what I have written here is known as a fraction. And we saw that we got this answer by doing a problem of division. The problem of 7 divided by 2. So when we start out with division, we end up with a fraction. And as we saw last time, this is all revision. Fractions is not a new subject. Fractions is just a part of division. It is a continuation of division. When you have a remainder of, after doing the division, and you divide the remainder, we get fractions. So having done this, now let's proceed further. I am going to write some division problems, which are also fraction problems. And Gyanjyoti, you have to make what I am writing. So please empty your plates. And now you can use your circular rotis, and this is what you have to make. Show your answer in your hand. Hold it in your hand. Your answer is 1 by 2, or also known as half. Okay, now you can empty your plates again. And now I'm going to give you another problem, which is a problem where you have to make this fraction. So how many plates do you need?
4.
Okay, put your plates in front of you, all in a line, and solve this problem. So what is the answer? Hold up the answer. Okay. And hold up this answer. So what do we see? Which is bigger? This is bigger or is this bigger?
Both are equal.
Both are equal. So take a piece of paper and write the equality. Take a piece of paper, take a pen and write the equality. And hold that up on camera. So we see that 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. Okay. Alright, now empty your plates and do the next problem. Okay, so show this answer. That is 1 by 4. Alright. Now empty all the plates and keep what you have made by the side. And now take just one plate and in that one plate show me again okay. Now show me, empty your plate and show me so what is that?
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4.
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. Okay, just keep that in front. Take another empty plate. Keep that aside. Keep that empty plate in front of you. And in that empty plate, keep just 1 by 4. Okay. Now, so what is in your plate now?
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4.
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. And what is in the other plate which you made earlier? Show that. What is in that plate? How will you describe that?
2 by 4.
Remember, I asked you to make this. That is what you made. So is that 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4? No. That is not 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. What is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4? That. Okay. Now let's see what is in that plate. Alright, so please take a whole and divide it into 4 parts and keep all the parts aside. Make some pieces of 1 by 4. Okay, that's enough. You can keep all the pieces on the side there. Ready for you. Keep all the pieces that you made also on the side. Keep them by the side. And again start out with this which you had made earlier. Take that in the plate. That is
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4.
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. Now keep one more piece of 1 by 4 in the plate. What is that now?
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4.
So, can you write that on a piece of paper? Okay, put one more piece. What is that in the plate?
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4.
Okay, and what will you write? Show that. Show what you have written. Okay, now take a fresh piece of paper and keep it in front of you and take what you have kept in the other plate. Look at it. And now can you write what is there in that plate? That is what you have in your plate, right? So again, show me this. Okay, show that up in the camera. And now show me this. Remember we had made this also earlier? What is this? This is,
2 by
you have to take 2 rotis and divide it among
4
4 persons. Can you do that again? How many plates will you need in front of you? How many plates will you need?
4.
Okay, so do that. Okay, so now you have made, show me this, what you have made, that. But we saw that is also the same as
1 by 4.
1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. So please write that on a piece of paper. Write this equality on a piece of paper. Okay, so now let me use a description. I will call this the long form of writing, and I will call this the short form of writing. Okay, so now I'm going to write a long form, and you have to make it in your plate. So just keep an empty plate in front of you, and all the other plates can be kept aside. And now make this in your plate. Show it. So this is the long form. And what is the short form? How will I write this in the short form?
1 by 3.
See, this was the long form, and this was the short form.
3 by 4.
So this will be 3 by 4. So write it. Write the short form. And write the equality of the short form and the long form. Show that in the camera. So the short form is 3 by 4, and the long form is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. But they are both equal. That is why we have put the equal sign. So shall we do one last problem now? Are you ready for the next problem? You have to write the long form of you have to write the long form of 5 by 4. and you have to make that in the plate in front of you. And show that to the camera. So now, today, we have learnt how to make and write fractions. We have learnt how to write a long form of fractions and a short form of fractions. And we will conclude this session here today. In the next session, we will revise what we have done today, and we will use it to understand and discuss addition of fractions. Thank you, and see you again.